Why, hello there. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I usually do. I'm going to be doing the 10 UnGoth Confessions tag, and I've seen a couple of other people do this on YouTube and I figured it would be fun, so why not give it a go. And that way you guys can get to know a little bit more about me as well. And if you guys are wondering, I do have a tutorial film for this makeup look that I have. It's actually part 2 in a series that I'm doing, makeup inspired by characters in the Corpse Bride movie, so if you want to see that, I'll have that posted soon. And if you haven't seen the first one that I did, it was inspired by Corpse Bride herself. I'll put that somewhere, either here or over here, so you can see that if you haven't done so already. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I have it all written on my computer down here, so that's why I'm going to be glancing over here. I'd say my first UnGoth confession would be that I love pop music. I always have. I'm mainly a rock and metal kind of a girl, but when it comes to music, sometimes I like to spice it up a little bit or change things up. And I really enjoy Lady Gaga, Britney Spears. I've actually been in a really long Lady Gaga phase lately. I've been listening to, I think GUY is one of my favorite songs by her, as well as Manicure. I just love those two songs. They just have a great beat and I love to dance, so those are perfect for me. My second one is that I do not dress or look goth all the time. I typically like to wear more colorful makeup looks. I don't always, as much as I love black and all that stuff, I do love to change things up. I really hate to look the same way twice. So if I can, I just change things up where, you know, one day I might look like this, and then the next day I might look like a fairy princess. It's kind of like I just do whatever I feel like doing whenever I wake up. I never really have a plan. I just kind of do whatever I feel like, you know, if that makes sense. I'm not really the biggest fan of stereotypical goth music, like Depeche Mode. They're okay. I've listened to a couple of their songs beforehand, so I'd know if I really did like them or not. And I think I listened to a song called Bela Lugosi's Dead, and I expected to like it because I love Bela Lugosi, I love all the classic horror films, you know, The Wolfman, Frankenstein, all that stuff. I adore them. I just wasn't thrilled by it at all. I'm gonna lose all my goth credit here. I just was not a fan of it at all. It didn't do anything for me, so sorry guys. Yeah, I'd have to say my favorite bands that are kind of goth related. Alice Cooper for sure is my biggest heartthrob. He's gorgeous. I've seen him in concert 3 or 4 times and I cannot wait to see him again. I think one of the things that I want to do before I pass on is that I want to have a front row seat at one of his concerts just so I can look up at his beautiful face and die happy. But other than that, I also listened to Nightwish. I got to see them in concert as well. I think a couple months ago in New York City. That was great. I got a front row seat for that. So amazing. Floor Jansen, if you don't know who she is, please look them up because they are an amazing, amazing band. They just have such a great sound, and I love all the themes that they have to their albums. And I know a lot of people have been kind of going back and forth about who's the best singer, because I think there's been at least 3 singers in their past, but Floor is just absolutely incredible. I love her so much. I also love bands like Amon Amarth and Avatar. I got to see Avatar. I love them so much. Their lead singer, such an amazing stage presence. I love him. Oh my god. I've been listening to their song Smells Like a Freak Show nonstop ever since I saw them, and it's perfection. Love it. I think another, I don't know if it's, well, I guess it's not really a goth thing, but I love Disney movies. I was kind of raised on a mix of Tim Burton and just the classic Disney films like Bambi, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you know, Aladdin. So I kind of grew up with all that, you know, the classic animation and everything. There's a special place in my heart for all those films. I love them very much. And I don't really know if I have a favorite, but right now, just because I love Robin Williams, and I was really, really upset when he passed away. And I've been watching his stand-up a lot lately, and so just Aladdin comes to mind with the genie. That was probably one of my favorite films. Another thing, I don't know if it's specifically goth related, but I know whenever people see me for the first time, they make assumptions that I am very angry or I am not a good person just because of my outward appearance. And I'm really not an angry person. I'm very happy all the time, you know, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy, I'm a graphic designer, that's my job, so I really enjoy the people that I work with and the things that I do, and I don't really see any reason to be all gloomy or unhappy. I have a great life, I'm very fortunate to have the things that I have and be where I am, so I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, I'm pretty happy all the time. I'm not all doom and gloom. As much as I love the melancholy and all those things, I tend to be more on the upbeat side of life, I guess. Another thing is, again, this isn't really a goth specific thing, but I have no tattoos. And that always seems to surprise people when they first meet me and they're like, oh, you have all these piercings and the crazy makeup and all the goth stuff and the corsets and the boots. What tattoos do you have? And I'm like, none. The main reason for that is because I was never really, I'm an insanely, incredibly indecisive person. So I feel like getting a tattoo is a really, really, really huge commitment, and I would not want to do that unless I was 1000% sure that I would love what I was putting on my body for the rest of my life. Because I know there is the laser removal, but I wouldn't want to go through that because I've heard it's expensive and it's painful. So I don't know, at this point in my life, there's nothing that I really love that I would want to put on my body. And also because I love changing the way that I look so much that I feel like having something that permanent wouldn't really suit me at all. I love being able to change my eye color or my hair, which is why I have contacts and wigs and all that kind of stuff. So I really don't think that tattoos would be the best idea for me. I love the way they look. If I could change it like that, I would love to be able to have a full Kat Von D status, tattoos in every inch of me one day, but I'd love to be able to change it, so I don't know. Another thing is that I don't really have a lot of goth friends. I really don't have any friends around me because where I live, it's a very small town and it's quite conservative, so I stick out a bit, and people are very hesitant to approach me, and I get a lot of stares and I get a lot of silly comments that people say to me sometimes, and I get called a lot of things. But the nice thing is there are people who are nice and they give genuine compliments, which is always nice to hear rather than, oh my gosh, goth, satanic, devil worshipper. But yes, I don't really have that many friends that live here where I am that are alternative or goth. I have a few, very, very few, maybe one or two, but it's not very popular where I am, I guess, to be a goth or to be alternative in any way. Most of the goth people that I know I've met online, and even those are few, so I don't really have that many people who I talk to about music or the alternative lifestyle, which kind of stinks, but who knows, maybe one day when I move, I'll see if I can find some goth friends, which would be nice. I've actually never been to a goth, I guess what you would say a meetup or a club. I know there are many in the city. I've always wanted to go because I love music and I love dancing and I love being around other people who have the same aesthetic that I do. But I've never gone just because I would have no one to go with, and going by myself doesn't seem like the smartest idea. So maybe in the future I would go, because I would love to go and dance and just see what the whole scene is about, and I love going to the city, but it is a bit far for me. I live about an hour outside of it, so it's not something I do a lot. Whenever I've gone to the city in the past, it's usually been for a concert. Like, I went there for Alice Cooper concert, I went there for my Nightwish concert, and those I went to by myself. Like, I didn't really have any friends who enjoyed Nightwish, so I just went there and waited in line by myself, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, I really wanted to go, and I felt like if I dragged someone who didn't like it, there'd be no point because they wouldn't want to wait there for 2 hours like I did so I could get to the front. So it'd be better just to go by myself so I don't really inconvenience anybody. So yeah, not a lot of friends, not a lot of goth friends. Another thing that is kind of ungoth of me is that I don't really watch a lot of scary movies or horror films. It's not because I don't like them, I like them fine, but I am very easily scared, which may surprise a lot of people, but I just, I started watching American Horror Story for the first time, and the first season was fine, Murder House. That didn't creep me out too much. But I just started watching Freak Show. I skipped all the other seasons. And, Twisty the Clown, I'm only in episode 2. And it's really freaking me out because Twisty the Clown is really creepy. And I scare easily in the fact that I just went to a haunted house. I took a friend there for his birthday, and I jumped and screamed about every 10 seconds. It wasn't that scary, I guess, but just me being who I am, it was terrifying to me. So when I watch scary movies, what usually happens is I have a very overactive imagination. So despite the fact that I am 23 years old, I would still think that once the light goes out, there will be a monster in my closet or under my bed, and I usually curl into a little ball and clutch my pillows and covers around me, terrified to move because I feel like something's going to grab me or come out from under my bed. So yeah, I'm also terrified of the dark. I actually really love classic horror films. I love Dracula with Bela Lugosi, I love Frankenstein, The Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, all those are fine. Those don't scare me at all. But anything else, like I've never seen Saw, I've never seen Halloween, I've never seen Nightmare on Elm Street actually. I know who Freddy Krueger is and I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen the actual film itself. Another thing is that as far as fetishes go, I know fetishes and alternative people tend to go hand in hand a lot, but it just creeps me out sometimes because I've gotten a lot of guys asking me to send them pictures of my feet that when they're dirty or just legs and stockings, and I feel like that's just not wrong, but it doesn't sit well with me. I feel like that's inappropriate, and I don't really understand why. I mean, I have a few fetishes myself. There's nothing wrong with having fetishes, I just don't understand certain ones, why people ask strangers that they don't know on the internet to send them pictures of these things. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Another thing, I am absolutely terrified of spiders, which I'm sure is a surprise given that I am wearing several on me right now. But something about, I love the way that they look aesthetically. I love just I don't know, there's a certain elegance about them when they're not real. I love the way that their legs look, I love that there's that creepy element of them with the multiple eyes, but the minute I see a real one, I will be like an elephant that sees a mouse. I'll just jump up, I'll scream, I'll run away. I try not to squish them because I know that they're beneficial for the environment and they eat bugs and all that good stuff. But I just, there's something about the way that they move creeps me out, and they're quick. So, I've woken up many times just because of where I live. I live in a log cabin, so there's a lot of bugs around. And unfortunately, they also make their way inside, especially now that it's getting colder out and it's warm in here. So I have woken up many times to have spiders crawling on me, or ants, or other bugs, and it's not a pleasant experience. So I guess that might be part of it as well, but yeah, not a fan of spiders at all. And I think as far as my UnGoth Confessions go, that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's a little different from what I usually do. Let me know if you enjoy it. If you want to see more videos of me just rambling on, let me know. And I hope to see you again next time. Have a good one. Bye.